Hey friends, today I wanted to just talk a little bit about soil testing. I am going to go out and collect several samples. I am using the My Soil Test Kit, and I did order this on Amazon. I'll put a link, no affiliate, just if you are interested in knowing what soil test I used. And I'm going to collect a sample and take it to my local cooperative extension so they can do a soil test as well, and we'll compare the results. So let's get outside, collect our samples, and finish the testing. So to register your test kit, you do need to have this document. It comes right in the kit, and there's your registration number. And you just need to go to the website, mysoiltestkit.com. Once you're at the website, you just want to click on that register kit or sign in, and we're going to register a new kit. So that option comes up, and you just want, and you're going to enter your registration number, re-enter it, put your information in, and you also want to select the type of garden that you are testing. So if it's ornamental, if it's a vegetable garden, if it's a tree that you want to plant, etc. What are you using this soil for? And enter that information, put the rest of the info in, and you're all set. Once you've registered your kit, it will show up underneath and you can wait for your results. Okay, I just wanted to explain. I am going to take about 6 samples from different spots along the back of the house. That is the flower bed I want to test because I feel like that is the worst soil. Right now it's a hot mess. There are a million little wild onions in there and I need to finish cleaning them out. But for the moment, this is the spot I'm testing. I am using 2 trowels. One's already over there. This one is 6 inches from the tip to this little spade up here. So I'm gonna try to dig down as far as I can. I'll use the other one to actually dig up the soil. I'm going to put all of the samples in this bucket, mix them around, and then I only need like 1 little scoop to put in the sample, but you want a mix from different spots in the flower bed. So that's how this process is going to work. I'll bring you in close for the first one and then we'll just speed it up for the rest. So the wild onions do get worse as we head down the flower bed, but I'm going to start here. This is where my wild Monarda is. I started to dig it out last year, but some of it has grown in anyway. So we're going to take a sample from here. I definitely have some old mulch that's still here, so I'm going to get some of that out of the way. All right. Okay, I'm going to try to get the first couple of inches off of there. Okay. Very claggy. Okay, next spot. Okay guys, I have my 6 samples, and now I just want to break up any, sorry, let me get that out of the way, any clumps that are in here and really mix it around. I get some onion greens, the tops of the onions. Pull those out. Some of it really feels like clay. I got a worm. It's gonna go back. Okay, now I do have a sifter. So I'm going to try to, you know what? We're gonna dump it first and then sift. Because the mouth of the white bucket is a little wider, so it's not perfect, but it is a little better. So let's see. I think that's probably good enough. We got quite a lot of soil in there. Let me get the test kit and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the test kit. Let me open it up. There is a scoop inside. And this is all that I need. I did all of the sample taking and mixing to be sure that I get a pretty homogeneous mix, that it's really pretty mixed up. So just scoop it out. One scoop. One scoop. That's what I got. Okay, and it comes with liquid in here and a little, I don't know, something to process. Okay. So you guys can see I have a scoop and I have my water. Let me come in closer. You can see that. It's got that little tab. I'm gonna try really hard just to add the soil. There we go. It didn't overflow. Amazingly, I didn't spill. I did spill. All right. So I'm just gonna set it back in here for now. So the next instruction is to place the sample in the envelope. So it's a pretty snug fit, which is good. I made sure the lid was on tightly. I do need to get a label for my return address. Let's get this shipped out. I'll go get my return address label and we'll get this out in the mail. Alrighty, and lastly, I am going to take one more scoop to take to the Cooperative Extension. So I have my envelope. This one does not need to go in the mail. I'm going to take it and drop it off, so I'm just going to take one scoop and put it in here. I'm going to do 2 scoops just to be safe. I don't think they actually need 2 scoops, but I called, they said you can just drop it off and they'll get me the results in a couple of days unless there is anything really abnormal that they want to do additional testing on. So that's it. All right, so the next time you see me, we will have results. All right, guys, before we jump into the results, if you are enjoying this video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, and it helps my channel. So thank you so much for doing that. All right, let's jump right into the results. The results are in. So let's talk about what the results said. First, I got the email from the Cooperative Extension. After taking the sample, I received an email the next day letting me know that my soil pH is actually 7.6, which is relatively high. They normally see pH levels between 6.5 and 7.2. So 7.6 is pretty high. So the recommendation was to add elemental sulfur to the garden. And you could potentially add peat moss to the first couple of inches of soil and use a well-balanced fertilizer at the time of planting. So something like a plant tone. So those were the recommendations from Cooperative Extension, but of course I wanted to wait and see what mysoiltest.com said so I can compare. And I got the results from them. Now, it did take longer, partly my fault. I forgot to mail it. I took it with me to put in the mailbox and got distracted that day. Once I got it mailed, it didn't take very long. It was a few days before they received it and a couple of days for the analysis. So they do have a website. I registered. You guys saw how you register the soil test. So as soon as they receive the sample, they let you know via email, so you can go on to the tracking system and see where it is in process. So it changed from received to processing to completed, and so you could view your results. So I'll pull up the results. So as you can see, I have really low nitrogen levels in the soil, and sulfur and boron. Yeah, down here at the bottom. So to fix those problems, they actually have product recommendations, and this part of the soil sample I wasn't as impressed with the recommendation portion. Like, I really wanted to see a here's what to do about your situation kind of a result. Of course I Googled, what do you do about nitrogen? But the very interesting thing between these two reports is the pH level. So the Cooperative Extension told me that the pH was 7.6. And the My Soil Test Kit pH level that they provided to me was 6.67, which is on the acidic side, just slightly acidic, more acidic than neutral. So neutral is 7. So having a pH somewhere 5.8 and 7.0. Mine was slightly acidic, which is fine, except that I don't have a lot of nitrogen in my soil. So of course I Googled what is the fastest way to add nitrogen to your soil, and I got results for manure and blood meal, two of the fastest ways. Also, feather meal is a great way, but it is a slower release. And they also recommended human urine. I think I'm going to skip that one. It also recommends using a good quality compost over time that will help in adding nitrogen back to the soil as well. As I said earlier, a good composted manure, alfalfa meal, blood meal, on top of feather meal, corn gluten, cottonseed meal, feather meal, which is a slower release. So if you are just looking, for that long term, so that is something I may do, add, maybe twice a year to my garden, so that nitrogen and their last recommendation was soybean meal. The other thing you can do is plant nitrogen fixers, which are peas and beans. Also cover crops like clover and vetch. You can also use sweet peas, lupins, and baptisia as nitrogen fixers. Now, again, my soil was low in sulfur, so I'm kind of wondering, did the sample I sent to the Cooperative Extension just show that I had a sulfur deficiency in my soil? So the recommendation to add elemental sulfur to decrease my pH. So what I'm going to do is reach back out to the Cooperative Extension, share the results from my soil test kit, and just ask their opinion. They may want to run additional tests on the soil sample I provided. We'll see. So I will keep you posted on that. But I did want to show you the results. And since I have such, conflicting information, I'm going to, choose a safe route, and I am going to add some manure and some compost to my soil so that, I'm not doing more harm, etc. I just want to kind of add in natural organic matter that will help my soil. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I enjoyed the process, and I may do it again in other parts of my garden, maybe later in the season or next year. But it was a lot of fun, and I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.